This video is going to show you how to thread model 15s, antique and vintage, 1530, which this is a 1530, 1586, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. They're all basically the same. We'll start with the bobbin first. You get your bobbin case. There's a difference between antique 1530 and vintage 1580s and 90s. If you look, this goes opposite directions. They're obviously not interchangeable. But when you're going to thread your bobbin, there's a little groove inside here, and you take your thread on the bobbin. You can see it's coming over this way. You want to run that in. The thread's going to go opposite direction of how it's going to feed through the case. So then you just put it in, pull it under this tab, and then get it locked into place. You should be able to hold it and not go loose. There is a screw for adjusting. And then basically with the vintage version, it's the same thing, except that your notch goes opposite direction. So you're taking your thread, going over your bobbin, and just bring it back through. The same thing. There you have it. Our bobbin will go into place down in here. It just click. You'll hear it click on when it goes in. Took our thread in there. And basically all these machines are the same, except that the antique versions have just a thumb screw, where the vintage versions have a dial. Basically your thread's on a spool. It's going to come over. You've got a thread guide here, and you're going to come down around. You want your presser foot up to release your thread tensioner. You're going to bring your thread through the spools. This version will go up and over this big arm, back down, and there's a spring here, where the vintage versions has a little clip. So basically you'll be able to just pull it up through the spring and clip it on. It goes a little faster. Then you have an eyelet here on your thread take up, a thread guide down here, and then of course your needle hole. And your needle, this is the left side of the machine, this is right. You're going left to right through it. So I'm basically just going to walk you through the steps. We'll go over our first guide, and then wrapping around our thread tensioner, up and then over this bar, and then back down to under the spring. Like I said, on the vintage versions, it's just a little clip. So you can bring it around, pull it up, hold it tight, and you'll be able to pull it up over that clip through your spring. Then you go through your take up, which is going from back to front. We've got a clip here, or a guide, and this, we're just taking our thread from front to back to lock that in place. And then down over our guide here, I think no, the other version should be across the same in the front. The needle clamp is different on the vintage compared to the antique, but this one we're just going over right and then coming back left, so we're in our little loop. I like taking one of these, just makes it go a little bit quicker. And then we go through our needle. So now we're going left to right through the needle. Hold the needle a little bit, run it down through, and there's our thread. Bring it to the cutter, pop it on, foot down, and away you sew. And there you have it. Alright, now I'm going to add, this is the 1591. how to thread it. And this version, this style is a little different from the 1530s, but it's the same for the 1580 and 1590 series machines. Like I showed before, going over this top groove, our presser foot's up, and just kind of hold a little here. We'll wrap around and we can catch our spring on the way up, lift it, and then it goes over this little notch in here. And then like the other, we go through the hole from back to front, and then we have a groove here, or a guide, thread guide in the front. This one has a thread guide on the right side of the needle. So with this needle we're going from right to left, where we were left to right on the other machine, on the 1530. And there we get in our groove, use our little thread guide. And there, we just pull it through. So now we're going from right to left with this machine.